My name is Evie, founder of Smart with Money Planning. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about Robert F. Smith. I know it was very viral all over social media. There's a black billionaire paid off everybody in the class of 2019 at Morehouse. So, Morehouse College, he's a commencement speaker. Class of 2019, he pledged and he will pay off all of their student loan debt. So this amounts to a reported $40 million. So this guy flew under the radar a lot. He's not a huge name. He's not in terms of just people who we talk about, black billionaires we talk about. You know, there's Jay Z now. There's Oprah. Um, there's a lot of African billionaires such as Aliko Dangote. These are names that have been in force for a while, for Dr. Dre for some years, and his name just has not been as big, and I believe that was by his own design. But he's obviously, wants people to know who he is, and I want to give you a quick summary of who he is. Number one, he had a pretty solid starting point, meaning both of his parents were PhDs. Both of his parents were PhDs, so highly educated parents. Emphasized education and trained him and all of that good stuff. Guided him. He was a top student, a genius. Got into Cornell, for chemical engineering. So he went to an Ivy League school for undergrad, but also he went into an Ivy League school for his MBA. And let's just stop right there and go back one point. He was able to get a very significant internship through his own persistence. You understand? In business, you have to be relentless. You have to have tenacity. You have to really try all different ways in your hardest to get what you need. And he needed an internship at Bell Labs, and he was able to get one. Because you're such a great student, he was very persistent and asking for it. So, we got highly educated parents, we got genius student, very high performing student. We got a very persistent individual about getting his internship. And then we also have a person trained at Ivy League School for undergrad in chemical engineering at Cornell, and trained at Ivy League School for his MBA at Columbia University. And then on top of that, as if that was enough, he worked at a major company at the time, I believe Kraft, after he graduated, and he earned 2 patents. So once again, he's a genius. Most billionaires who are self-made can be definitely classified as a genius. Someone has multiple patents. That is a very special achievement, and that is due to their own intellect. So, absolutely a genius. 2 European patents and 2 patents in the United States. And on top of that, he got a job at Goldman Sachs. He joined Goldman Sachs in 1994. Now, if we want to talk about what was his biggest, the biggest factor that was a root for his billionaire status, I would have to say Goldman Sachs was a huge factor to join Goldman Sachs in 1994 in the middle of the tech boom. Once again, as a top investment bank in the middle of the tech boom, and to focus on software, enterprise systems, and storage in Silicon Valley. That is like the perfect secret sauce in terms of luck, in a way of the investment bank and put them in some other non-booming area, but let's just say the stars aligned for him very sweet to work at a top investment bank in the middle of the tech boom and be assigned to focus on some of the top tech companies, Apple, Microsoft, Texas Instruments, etc. Now this is where he gets all the credit. You see, yes, that there's some luck there. To be born to two PhD parents, that is very advantageous, and also to get into Goldman Sachs, that takes a lot of your own doing. That's not necessarily luck, but to be assigned to the booming industry, I'm belaboring that point because it's a very huge factor. But he took that and he made the most of it. He maximized that situation. He learned a ton, all that he could learn from his key position, and then he built his own firm, and he was just stellar at his role. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he was very good at it. One of the greatest ever at investing in enterprise software companies. And so he would pick the best companies that have the best, in terms of the best fit for what kind of companies he goes into. Now we're talking private equity. Vista Equity Partners, the company started, that's private equity, right? What does private equity do? They look for companies that fit certain factors that they're looking for, certain criteria, and they go in there and they use their experience and knowledge, connections, money, everything they can to make their company worth a lot more. So they buy into the company, fix it up, and make it worth a lot more. Like some people flip real estate, private equity flips companies. We'll put it that way. So he was one of the best people at doing that. And, almost like they say, the rest is history. When you have such a big pond to work in, which is private equity in tech, and you're one of the best ever at doing it, flipping tech companies, that's where the billions come in. So now he's known for philanthropy. He has a full track record of a lot of philanthropy that he's made public, and I'm sure there's a lot that is private. So he was the largest donor to the National African American History Museum, and he was the first and I believe the only black person to sign on to Bill and Gates and Warren Buffett's Giving Pledge. So this isn't someone who's saying, I got mine, go get yours. No, he really recognizes, I believe he recognizes that, okay, most black people aren't born to two PhD parents. Most people in the world aren't, and then also most people in the world don't have the mental blessings that he has to be able to earn multiple patents and get into the top institutions and graduate with honors and do well. It's like, to whom much is given, much is required. And we thank God for him because he takes that to heart, and he's doing a ton. He's a legend already, and he's building on that legend. So that's who Robert F. Smith is. Born to two highly educated PhD parents, genius student, hardworking student, very relentless, tenacious. Gets into Ivy League, Columbia undergrad, Ivy League MBA program, graduates with honors, gets into Goldman Sachs, and before they was at Kraft. And he focuses on tech and Goldman Sachs during the middle of the tech boom. He's one of the best people to ever, focus on tech. And then he flipped companies, and he was really good at it. So then he decided to, share his wealth. To whom much is given, much is expected, or much is required, and he's taking that to heart. So, we're very grateful for him. But that is Robert F. Smith, his summary. Thank you. Bye. Like, subscribe, share. Bye.